This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Rob Taylor in studio. And before we finish our Patriots talk, last two segments talking Patriots, we're going to talk some NBA basketball. Obviously, the Celtics still lead in the East, looking strong. Having a little bit of a rough patch, though, losing 5 of their last 7. The road trip wasn't too kind to them. Obviously, one of the losses was to Golden State Warriors recently, so that wasn't a bad loss. They played that one tight. Any worries about the 5 out of 7, or is it such a long season? Obviously, you had Marcus Smart not playing. Just Irving's been in and out some games.
No worries for me. I think that it's obviously Golden State's to win or lose,
right,
as long as they can stay healthy. But clearly, I mean, this last week's game between the Celtics and the Warriors was sort of indicative. I think that really Golden State only has maybe 1 or 2 teams to really have any fear, and probably not too much fear. But that game that they played them tight. Obviously, they beat them earlier in the season. I really like the Celtics' chances. I think they're really built for success going forward. It would be great to see him add maybe in this free agency a little bit of additional talent, maybe another 6th man. But no, I think that they're going to be the team in the East to beat, definitely.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Golden State Warriors matchup, and I know a lot of people are talking, okay, well, it's the Warriors to lose, and rightfully so, until they get knocked off. You're right, but I don't know if I'm buying into the hype of the Celtics or really believing, but I think they have a chance in a 7-game series. Maybe they don't win it. Maybe Golden State gets home game number 7 and they win, because if you got home court advantage in the NBA, it's pretty easy to win the game, it seems like. But I don't think it's a 5-game series. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, or am I just buying into this hype of the Celtics and blowing out everyone in the East? Can they? I mean, they can match up with the Warriors in 7 games.
Absolutely. In a lot of ways, I mean, we were just talking about the Patriots. In a lot of ways, I think this Celtics team is very much built like the Patriots. You've got a world-class coach in Brad Stevens, probably Coach of the Year, what he's done and what he's been able to do this year. And then you've got the quarterback in Kyrie Brady, we could call him, just as a real sort of strength at the middle as a point guard of our team. And then, role players throughout the team that really can step in and be instrumental in scoring. And boy, this team is really all about defense. And they always say defense wins championships. If you watch some film that's broken down on the way the Celtics play, they just put the effort in on the other end of the floor. In transition, half-court defense, they're just world-class, and I think that's going to carry them through. It's a tall order to win 4 out of 7 when it comes to the finals against anybody. But I think on any given night, the Celtics can beat any team, and we've seen that so far in this season.
Right, the fact that they've matched up with Golden State in previous years. Last year they beat them a couple times. This year they've beaten them. And it just shows that they're not intimidated, and you get to that stage, and it's a little different. I know playoff basketball versus regular season, but I just don't see them being so inferior to this Warriors team that they lose in 5 games. And day by day, it looks like the Cavaliers are out of the picture in the Eastern Conference. I mean, this team is just, when you think it can't get any worse or they can't get any lower, they just are falling apart. Now you've got Kevin Love out for a while. Is it basically in the East, Toronto and Boston for that number 1 seed?
Oh, I think it's without a doubt. Of course, anybody that's got LeBron is still going to be a competitor, especially late in the season and in the playoffs. But I just wrote down a couple things. I mentioned earlier Brad Stevens as potential Coach of the Year. Jason Tatum, probably a good candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
I put down Al Horford as possible Defensive Player of the Year. So when you've got those kind of accolades on your team, I just think that this could be the Celtics' year, and we'll just have to see what happens in the long run.
And I know they're not going to give Al Horford the Comeback Player of the Year award because he was playing last year, but he's having a much better season than last year. He kind of started stepping up in the second half of the year in the playoffs, and now this year he's carried it over, and he has been a tremendous asset. So this team, in first place in the East, things are looking up. They got a couple weeks until the All-Star break, and they've got the next 6 out of their 8 at home, so they play the Knicks on Wednesday night. Should get the win there and get them back to the winning ways. We'll take a break, our final break. When we come back, we'll talk some Red Sox. Obviously, not a lot going on in the hot stove. See if Rob thinks the Red Sox will make any moves. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.